Okay, my house, my kitchen table like everybody else does, and I'm preparing to plant my potatoes for this year. Now, in California we can plant potatoes earlier than most people, in some locations as early as January. Now, the potatoes need to have sprouts, and these are a little long. I kind of forgot about them, and but they will grow and they will do quite well. Some of my potatoes I have cut, and then I have sulfured them to protect them from a fungus. This is a 4-pound bag of sulfur that you can get at your local nursery, and it's probably enough to do 100 pounds or more of potatoes. All you need to do is make your cuts so that you have at least an inch of potato around the sprouts. Some of the potatoes are just cut in half, and others aren't cut at all because there are no sprouts at the other end. There are a few eyes down there, but they're not sprouting. So to make sure, I let them sprout, and that is probably more along the lines just so that you're starting to see the sprouts and see that that is an active eye. Anyway, all you do is put your little plate down and make your cut, and then apply your sulfur to the exposed area, and then let it dry overnight. Pretty simple. I'm planting these along the river bottom in a guerrilla garden fashion, so that maybe they'll naturalize. I won't have to take care of them. I'm hoping that all the rain will nurture them. We normally get our stop raining in this area of California in May, and after that we don't get any rains. And these potatoes are russets, and they're a long storage variety, so hopefully they will naturalize in that area. If they don't, then that means I'll have to harvest them and then replant them again the following year, which is no big deal. But you got to figure that a 20-foot long row, spacing 1 foot all the way down through there, is enough to get you through 6 months per person, which is a lot of potatoes. And it's a pretty good return. Obviously there's more than enough potatoes here from just a 10-pound bag. So why not put them in? I'm reading a book right now, and James Wesley, and he's really covered everything well for a guy that's wanting to learn how to prepare for the inevitable crash economically. But their lack of what they've really forgotten to include in this book, and there's the Patriots, is farming. None of the people seem to know anything about farming in the beginning of the book. I'm only, 100 pages in, so hopefully somebody will learn how to do something. But you could have prepared simple things like what I'm doing here, putting out a potato patch, getting some chickens, having some domestic livestock, a goat, pigs, something. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to get it later on. If you think that somebody's going to sell you their livestock after the crash, you're sadly mistaken. And you better be prepared to defend your garden or your livestock or whatever. That's where he comes in with the great techniques on how to, set up a patrol and defend your garden. But I am amazed at how many people do not realize that once you eat all the MRIs or all the rice that you've got stored up, you have to be able to grow. And it would be better to learn how to grow things in quiet times now than to learn how to grow it when your life depends upon it. As they said, in times of peace, prepare for war. So I'm preparing for war. Maybe not the type of war that you had in mind, but This is a war. Potatoes have a great return, food value wise. That and beans, and you have a complete carbohydrate or complex carbohydrate which will sustain you. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in the South, my family was from the South, so I was raised on what we called Okie food. My grandfather was from Arkansas, my grandmother was from Oklahoma, my dad was from Texas, so, and my mom was born and raised in California. So, boy, I am a mishmash. And my food culture is definitely represents that. But put in a few potatoes, some beans, learn how to grow them. I can't understand why some of the guys have put in summer squashes and expected to live off of that for the year. Winter squashes, that's a great long storage item. Summer squash is short term. And one of the things is, if you're not harvesting that summer squash continuously, it will stop producing. Whereas the winter squash will produce all year long, and you don't pick them until the end of the winter and whenever they're hardened off. Potatoes, you can steal from them anytime. I mean, when they're real tiny little things, all the way up to a nice, couple pound potato. So put in some potatoes, get some chickens, think about getting a goat. I mean, you can even have chickens in most rural areas. How about pigeons? Something. Okay, guys.